Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to the Williams Pulse this week for a bonus episode. So we're committed to trying to make this episode around 10 minutes, but
we just really enjoyed our conversation with Dr. Schmidt.
It was really good.
It'd be really sad if this next part of the conversation was left on my computer unplayed for the masses.
Exactly, so let's pick up in the middle of these rapid fire questions.
Happy bonus episode. I found this quote from you.
Oh gosh.
So I'm just going to pick up. After marrying and moving to Jonesboro, I began teaching part-time at Arkansas State in the English department. I've been there ever since, but I'm moving to Williams Baptist College, now University, this fall for an assistant professorship. My stubbornly staying in state is largely due to my desire to live close to family. While work's always a high priority, it's not my top one, at least not anymore. So being close to family has provided balance in my life that has only enhanced my career in terms of energy I devote to it. It took me a long time, and I'm probably still not there, but to learn that lesson.
Right.
That work isn't everything.
Yeah.
So I just found that really interesting and insightful. And, when you're a young professional, you just can't say no to anything.
Right.
You have to do whatever the boss says.
Yep.
You have to prove yourself.
When you want to build your career, right? You're fired up, you're out of grad school, you're super in, and when you are super into what you're doing, like you're excited about your work, right? Which is great, but then that I think also adds to sort of losing that perspective that work's not everything,
How long after college did you learn that lesson?
I was out of grad school before I finally got it, I think. I mean, I may have even already hit 30. I mean, it took me a while because I did love what I do. I mean, I still do, but I just loved it. That's all I did. And at some point, that's just not fulfilling, anymore. That you can still love your work. And like I said, I think it makes me better at my work to be able to unplug and step away, and be with people I care about and who care about me and have a good time, and then I'm re-energized and I'm ready to plug back in and go some more,
Nolan, that's a good life lesson that you will only learn. However you have to get there. No amount of teaching will
you have to learn it yourself.
You have to learn it yourself.
Because people said it to me all the time. They were always like, Amy, you're burning the candle at both ends. And I was like, I got this, I got this. But, one day it just finally clicks.
So why do you think that is a lesson that you have to learn? You have to walk through it to learn it.
I think it's because everyone thinks that they're one in a billion. No one has the same passion. No one can make the same impact that I can. No one can achieve what I feel like I'm capable of achieving.
If I don't do it, no one's going to do it.
Yep. Yeah. And so you come into the workforce, and if you're working with different generations, you're like, why aren't they more, getting after it like I am? But in reality, they're accomplishing way more with less effort because they've been doing it longer. They have trust. They have credibility. They have relationships. They have wisdom that you have to learn.
And they have perspective.
And perspective, yeah. And they've discovered what's important to them. And so I guess that's why until you realize that you're one of a billion and not just one in a billion.
You're not a unique snowflake.
Yeah. And there are some out there like Nolan who are. So you live this dream as long as you need to, buddy, okay? And
we're not going to melt you.
Everyone else listening to this.
You.
Yeah.
It's like a necessary evil to be close to burnout at some point just to recognize that lesson.
Oh, I don't know that that's the case. I think it depends on your personality.
I do too.
I'm a workaholic, and I love what I do.
It's called a strong work ethic.
And, I'm if I'm in, I'm all in. And I don't think everybody's personality is like that. So I don't think everyone has to get close to burnout to kind of wake up. I think some people are too lazy to get there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I do. I think if you love what you do and you're a hard worker and you're good at what you do, that those things, they're all good things, but they combine in this toxic way, I think, in your mid to late 20s when you're really getting your feet on the ground and starting your career. And it's hard to maintain a balance when you're in that spot.
If you're working on a small staff that has a big job, everybody has a big job, any idea you have, it becomes your project.
Yes. You have to be careful what you wish for. In committee meetings, I'm always like, I want to suggest this, but I don't want to have to do it.
Yeah.
Somebody, not me, needs to do this.
Yeah.
And that's where I find like my passion is every couple of years I'd find something new that I'd love and I just go all in. And I feel like consumed by it. It's probably a very unhealthy character trait, but that's
I think it means
love
that
it.
you're dedicated.
yeah, maybe. But like when people are like, hey Bill, can you make this video for me? I want to be like, I can. I don't have time to do that. I
Yeah.
can. But if I were you, I would learn how the camera works. That's what I did. Yeah. Like I learned how the camera worked, and then I learned, and I spent a couple of years mastering that craft, and then I moved on to another craft, and now it's just a muscle memory where I'm turning a camera on a film. I think that's like I said, unhealthy character trait because
Well, it's one we share.
yeah, one day I want to get obsessed with like, how do I save money? Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to do. So, all right, Nolan, ask her the serious last question.
So, Dr. Schmidt, are you where you want to be in life?
I knew y'all were going to ask me that because that's what you ask everyone.
Isn't that a good question?
It is a good question, but no one's going to say no.
Some people might say no. I think
You think?
I think some people could be like, I'm actually kind of disappointed with where I've wound up.
Really?
I think so. There's been times in my life when I've thought that, like, how did I get here?
Yeah, but would you say it on a podcast?
It'd be helpful for people to hear that, and it would resonate for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You speak freely. Don't say, no, my 2 weeks notice is in March. Goodbye, March. But
No, in all seriousness, I am happy with where I am. I'm happy with my job. I love my family. I have, I get to spend a lot of time with dogs and horses, and that makes me happy. I mean, I'd like to lose 10 pounds, but
we know of a way to do that.
Vegan!
Plant-based.
no way.
Next week's guest is
Dr. Walker.
Dr.
Speaking
Walker.
it into existence.
But we need to have a student next week.
Oh. Dr. Walker. Yeah, he is taking Dr. Startup's class, so...
Oh, that's fun. You want to know something?
Yes.
Dr. Startup is who I want to be when I grow up.
Me too.
He's such a great man. When I was a freshman and he would hit the table and talk, I was like, that's a little overreacting. But after taking his class, I'm like, this dude knows how to teach in a way that I've never
Right?
experienced history before.
Oh my
Right?
goodness. I get, I'm on the edge of my seat listening, and he's like, bye, class. I'm like, no, he finished the story.
Yeah.
Which is why I want to be him. when I grow up.
Now, I'm not trying to raise expectations here, but I've heard in Civil War that at the last day of class, people have verbally responded. Like, no! Like, I've heard that. That's happened.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
This has been...
And will continue to be
The Williams Pulse.